So as you can see, the weather is great outside. So what I want to do today is I want to test out the defrost mode on the Tesla Model Y, because I had the car for about 4 months now, and what I want to know is that how good is the defrost mode when it snows like this. So right now this is going to be pretty much my first time actually trying it out, because I didn't really have snow on the car, or at least that much before. Also, the windshield does have a thin layer of snow on here and a thick layer down there, so I want to see how much of that is going to melt. Also, what I like about this is that we have kind of a lucky streak here. So we got thin ice right here, we got heavier ice down here, or like the fluffy snow, and then up here we got that hard ice, you know, that ones that you usually have to scrub really hard. So I want to see how much of that is going to melt, and if it's going to need scrubbing at all afterwards. And then aside from that, I want to see if the side mirrors are going to melt as well. And then after that, I want to see if these door handles will be melted after that or not, because right now this is frozen over. And then lastly, I want to also see if the back window or back glass over here will be melted as well or not, because you know, this would be another thing that would need scrubbing, so hopefully it can do it on its own. And yeah, as you can see, every single door handle is frozen, including the driver one as well. So we'll see, give it a shot. I'm gonna put the camera on a tripod and run a time lapse so that you guys don't have to wait, and then we'll see by the end of it what the results look like. There's also something that I've never seen before, and that would be if you open the app, you see how up there it just shows that there's like a cold icon next to the battery. It just says that the battery is basically really cold. I've never seen that marker before. Usually it would show a heating marker if it's actually heating the battery, but I've never seen a cold one, so this should be interesting. Alright, so on the bottom there's no ice, so I'm gonna just place it to where it's looking up from that part, and then we'll see what happens. And then I'm going to leave it like this until it melts, and it gives me a notification on the phone to tell me that it's done defrosting, and then from there we'll look at the difference. Alright, so going on the app, I'm scrolling down to defrost mode, which is right up here, and there we go. Come back in a bit and see what happens. Also, I'm starting to hear the car humming as well, so I'm not sure if that will be picked up on the microphone or not, but I'll be back in a bit and we'll see. Wow, this sounds loud. So I actually did not expect it to sound this loud, but hey, I guess the AC is kicking on and it's trying to melt the ice, so we'll see. But it's definitely louder than I expected. It sounds like kind of close to a normal car with an engine, you know. But yeah, it's loud. Alright, so looking over here in the app, you'll notice that up top right here where I'm tapping is that there's two markers. One of them shows you that the car is starting to heat up, which is that orange one, and that blue one is the one that shows you that the car is still cold and the battery is cold. And if you look at the bottom towards climate, right down here, you'll see also that it shows you right over here the temperature. It says interior temperature is 39. This has been climbing slowly while the car is heating up. And the other one shows you the exterior. It's 1 Fahrenheit right now outside. And so as far as the car inside, I'm looking at it's heating up the steering wheel and both the front seats. I don't need that. I'm just doing the test. I'm not going to actually go for a drive. So I'm going to just turn off both seats right here and the steering wheel. And so with the modes that you have down here, the only one that does anything with temperature is mostly the first one, which is the defrost, aside from the one on the bottom, which is the high temperatures, which is not what we're looking for. And as you can see up here, this area that's on the windshield is kind of reddish, so it's heating up there, and also on the back on the trunk. What I want to know is that, does it heat up the door handles? I don't think it does, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. location on the phone, and it told me that the car is at the desired temperature. So let's take a look. Alright, so first off, the headlights of course did not melt as I expected, so these would need to be cleaned manually. And then second, if you take a look over here, the thick layer that was on the bottom of that fluffy snow has mostly melted, and if you look closer, it's actually melting right now as we speak. And then the rest of the glass that had that very thin layer of snow is gone, which is really nice. And the very top left side, or right side if you're inside, is still here, that harder one, but it seems like some of it is melting. But then again, since this is away from the driver's side and not on the other side, then this is usually fine because you could drive with no issue. But you can always scrub this, and it looks like most of it is melting away. So I'm sure that if I leave it a little bit longer, that will be gone as well, because all the way up till here, all of this has just melted pretty much. So just this top area is the hard one. Next up would be the door handles, which is the part that I was kind of concerned about. It's still frozen, so it does not melt these. I was hoping it would be a feature or something, but it doesn't. Now I know that if you press on this side and it's frozen, there's a little trick to it, which would be pressing on this side, and this just breaks the ice for the rest of it, and then after that you should be able to... Nope, the trick did not work. I've seen a thing before where they said if the handle is frozen over and it's not opening like this, then you can just press on that side right here to free it up, and then after that you can open it. But it doesn't seem to be working for me. Seems like the ice is actually like in between in that crack, so it's not wanting it to open. And then after that, the back glass, it melted pretty nicely, so you can see out here very clearly, no problem. And then and for the driver handle, that is frozen. So, and then on that side, and then after that you should be able to open it, but this is completely frozen. It's frozen way too hard. It's not opening. So your next option would be to just unlatch it from the app, which I'll do right now. So when this happens with you, just go ahead and open your app, and then in your app on the settings, you can always like press and hold to bring up that little menu, and then on that menu you have an option that says unlatch door. You can take one of the options down here, so I'm taking the unlatched door and I'm replacing the hood with it, and then I'm hitting save, and there we go. So it's an option right there. Yes, I accidentally opened the hood, and then after that you can hit that unlatch, and there we go, it opened the door for you. So that way you don't have to deal with that frozen issue, or at least it's a workaround, so that way you can get in the car and you don't have to keep hitting the door handle or trying to heat it up to try and actually get in the car. And there we go, and the AC is still blasting inside. Alright, next up I want to see the cameras, and it looks like this camera is very clean. There's no problem with that. Let's see the back. The back camera is also pretty clean. Surprised, because this one usually gets dirty. And then over on this camera, it's also pretty clean. We'll see that side camera, that is completely covered, but you could give that a good wipe, and there it is. Let's see the camera on the other side. That one is a little better, but you know, you can do that to get it off as well. It looks like the side mirrors have cleaned up very well, nicely, so I'm pretty surprised with that. And then let me check the very last thing, which is the other side mirror, and that is also pretty clean. I'm surprised. Okay, so far it melted pretty much. Also, I noticed that this side window also melted, so it melted the side windows, it melted the mirrors. I don't think that it cleans or heats up the cameras at all. I think the cameras are clean just because they're facing the house, so not a lot of snow hit the cameras to cover them up. And then as far as the headlights, like I said, that will need to be cleaned manually, but no problem with that. All the windshield is clean, so you won't have any issues with that. Also, let me close this real quick. Yep, I opened that by accident. So overall, it's pretty nice. The only thing that I'm kind of iffy about is the door handles. I wish it had some kind of heating or something, so it would heat up the door handles so you could open them up. Also, the unlatch option that's in the app, it's pretty good, but sometimes when you unlatch, it opens up and kind of half locks to where you still can't open it. You have to hit the button again. I'm trying to open it quickly before it half locks, so that way you can actually get into the car. So I'm hoping I see like a better improvement as far as that goes in the next versions of the car, but so far I'm pretty satisfied. I'd be pretty happy coming out to the car, and all I would need to clean off is the headlights and possibly the side cameras, but that's pretty much it. Aside from that, I'm pretty satisfied with it, and I think the car is still warming up as well. Even though it gave me that notification, it just stays on, so by the time you get in the car it would have melted even more, and keeps that battery warm. But yeah, well, so hopefully you learned something new, and if you have any questions, let me know. And also, if it snows even heavier, I was hoping that the windshield would be completely covered when I started this, but it wasn't. It just had that light snow on it. So if it does snow heavier and it covers it completely to where you just can't see inside, then I would be happy to actually do another test, because I want to see in like that much snow, will it be able to melt it before by the time you get to drive your car or not. And yeah, so aside from that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, peace out.